Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something that's probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but I feel like it needs to be said. I don't 100% subscribe to the law of attraction when it comes to our life experiences. Now hear me out. If you want your life to be different, change starts with you. That's why I wholeheartedly believe that a lot of the things that happen to us in our lives, we choose. We choose our friendships, we choose our relationships, we choose our work environments, and we choose how people treat us and our perspectives. We hold the power to choose and change. And don't let anything or anybody convince you otherwise. God gave us free will. We are not slaves to our circumstances or our situations. Let's change the verbiage from we attract to we allow. Because when we say that we attract this kind of person, we attract this kind of behavior in this person, or we attract this situation, we are giving our power away. But when you say that you have allowed, you are switching the perspective from feeling powerless because you are attracting things and have no control over the people that come in and out of your life to I have allowed certain people to be in my life. And that statement sounds so much more powerful. I have allowed certain behavior. I have allowed certain treatment. And just like you have allowed all those things, you can also not allow all those things. And that's where the power lies. You hold the power to choose who is in your life and who isn't. You have a choice when you change that perspective, when you change the verbiage. You switch the power back around to you when you do that because it's always been within you. So let's start changing the way we speak. And instead of saying I attracted, let's say I allow. Because in reality, you hold the power to choose whether or not you want to be in a situation, whether or not you want to be around certain people, or whether or not you want to respond or react in a certain way. There might be situations where you don't have many options. For example, you work with somebody that is difficult, but you do have a choice on how to respond to them, what boundaries to set, how to go about it, etc. Regardless of the situation, you are not optionless. There's always something that can be done. When it comes to relationships, you have the option to set boundaries or to leave. You have the choice not to interact and remove yourself from the situation. And that, my beautiful ladies, is how you get your power back. Do you know the saying that goes, we teach people how to treat us? Well, that goes hand in hand with setting boundaries and standards. There's an analogy that I shared a while back, and it's called the bug zapper. So imagine that you have a front porch and you start noticing all these bugs coming into the front porch. And every time you open your front door, the bugs sneak into your house. There's so many bugs that they start annoying you. Every time you turn a corner, you have to swat one out of your face. And then one day you decide to go and buy a bug zapper. So you place it right on your front porch in front of your front door. And before you know it, there's no more bugs in your front porch, no more bugs coming into your house. So essentially, that bug zapper represents your standards. And when you have standards in place, that prevents people from coming into your life, taking advantage of you, or mistreating you or disrespecting you. Because when you have standards, you're not going to allow that type of behavior. You're going to choose to remove yourself from people like that and situations like that. It filters out people that could be coming into your life that are toxic, mistreating you, disrespecting you, abusive. Your standards and boundaries are going to act as that bug zapper. It's going to prevent certain people from having access to you, having access to your energy, having access to your life. The more you set boundaries and keep your word if somebody violates it, the easier it will get. And the more confidence that you build. Setting boundaries is a confidence booster. And the reason why that is because when you set a boundary and you keep that promise to yourself, if this person crosses that boundary, or if this person violates that boundary, the more that you keep that promise to yourself, you start to build trust with yourself. And that is how you build confidence, because you know that no matter in what situation, you are going to handle it. That you're not going to subject yourself to mistreatment, to abuse, to toxic situations, to disrespect. And I'm not saying that this is supposed to be a combative thing. It's more so like, hey, for example, let me give you an example of boundary. Moving forward, if you yell at me one more time, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm going to step outside and I'm going to leave. Now, if somebody keeps yelling at you, you get to keep that promise because that promise is to yourself. Okay. And the more that you keep that promise, the more trust you build and you become more confident. It's kind of crazy how that happens because in my confidence video, I talk about that. And I always felt like, when people are like, oh yeah, just fake it till you make it, walk into a room and just tell yourself you're confident, like pretend. But it never felt genuine to me. And I'm always like, yeah, but there's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a way that people that really are confident feel confident. And it has to do with keeping the promises that you make to yourself. And that goes for setting boundaries and keeping your standards. And if somebody is not pleased with you setting a boundary with them, that is just feedback on how they view the relationship. And remember, feedback is neutral. You take that information and you make a sound decision. People that aren't pleased with you setting a boundary were probably the people that were taking advantage of your people pleasing. Now, you might say, well, what about, me thinking about good things? Like I'm going to attract good things. If I think good things and do good things, I'm going to attract good things. Well, that's just not how life works. Think of Mother Teresa. She gave and dedicated her life to God. She was a really good person, super nice, like really generous, kind, but I'm sure bad things still happen to her. That's just a part of life. And by no means does that indicate that she did things to attract those bad things. There's a mentality out there called the surfer mentality, and it's a great way to think about life's ups and downs. And that's the thing, like life is going to give you ups and downs. Those are the cards we were dealt. And in those ups and downs, we learn so much about ourselves. We learn so much about life. So when a surfer is out in the water, they catch a wave, when they're on that wave, they enjoy it to the fullest. They savor the moment. They enjoy every second of it because they know that once that wave is done, they don't know when the next wave is going to come. So they want to be present, be in the moment, enjoy that wave because they don't know when's the next one coming. So while they're in the down part, they know that that part's not going to last very long either because eventually another wave will come and then that process will happen all over again. So the waves represent life's ups and downs. And that's just how life is. There's going to be ups and downs, but that doesn't mean that because we think a certain thing or we think a certain way that we attracted those ups and downs. Like, that's not how it works. Ultimately, if God wants you to be in the up, He will put you in the up. If God thinks that you need to be in the down because you get to learn some lessons about life and yourself and other people, He will have you go through a season of downs, maybe a lot of downs. I mean, look at Job. He was tested the majority of his life. I believe that we have been told a lie, that we can apply this concept of attracting to every aspect of our lives. And that just keeps us stuck and powerless. Honestly, I don't believe that we attracted a majority of the things in our lives. They are the results and consequences of our actions or lack thereof. Think about all the choices you have made in your adult life. Those were you. You chose where to work. You chose where to live. You've allowed people to be in your life and other people not to be in your life. So at the end of the day, you hold the power to choose. And anyways, God has the ultimate say on everything. He wants us to go to Him during our good times and our hardships. He wants us to lean on Him. And that's how our relationship with Him grows. I really do believe by changing your verbiage, you gain back power. You realize that, like, wait a minute, like, I have free will. I have the power to choose to allow certain people in my life and not to allow certain people in my life. I have the power to allow certain types of behavior in my life and not allow certain types of behavior in my life. You hold the power. Don't ever give your power away to some concept or law that was created. I don't agree with applying that concept or law to everything in your life, especially when it comes to things that are consequences and results of your actions. And that includes relationships, jobs, certain situations. I don't subscribe to that. And honestly, ever since I gave my life to Christ, I don't believe in the law of attraction for anything. And I don't believe in manifestation either. But that's my personal opinion. And I believe that I go to God for all that. Like, if He wants me to have something, His answer is always going to be yes, no, or not right now. And I'm happy, and I'm happy with either one of those because I know he knows best. So I want to remind you that you are dearly loved. You are so special, and you hold the power within you. You really do. I hope that you have an amazing, beautiful day and a beautiful week. I love you all so much. God absolutely adores you, and you are so worthy. You are so loved. I love you, ladies.